Hey everyone, it's Alexa Mason with Grace Cherish, where we are making beautiful and hospitable places. It's a new day. I am out in the garden again. My baby girl went down for a nap, so I ran out here as fast as I could so I could finish doing some sewing of some things that I need to take care of as soon as possible. But when I came outside and I saw the bushwhack beans that I planted almost 2 weeks ago, it's about a week and a half ago or so, and to see how well they are growing, I am very excited. I had to update because if you remember, when I sowed these, I showed that I had accidentally soaked my beans overnight. That was on purpose, but I had accidentally left them. So I had soaked them overnight, forgot that I did that. Then I drained the water and I was gonna take them outside, and then I wasn't able to because, you know, life, things going on. So then I realized that they had started to sprout a little bit just sitting on my counter. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna plant them and I'm gonna see what happens. And that is what happened. You see, this is what happened. So I am so excited, thankful that they're growing well. I'm wanting to do succession planting with them. So I was starting with these ones, was gonna see what happened, and then I was gonna plant some more on the other side. So it's good to know, sorry, the other side of my watermelon bed, because where I am, let me put this camera down. So the bed that I am focused on right now, or where these are, so you see, there's my bushwhack beans. And then we have some watermelon plants that are starting to come up, and I wanted to plant some more bushwhack beans on that end. So for me, they were listed as good companion plants. So I was like, let me try it out. Let me see if I can, by growing them. Plus, we like beans, so the more the merrier for us. Speaking of beans, my other beans, let me take this camera over. My green beans are doing very, very well. Let me take this over and resituate my camera. I'm actually just gonna take the camera out. So let me show you. These are some of the green beans. I have Royal Burgundy, Kentucky Yellow, and the Blue Lake pole beans, all on this side, because on that end, I did Blue Lake pole beans. I did Royal Burgundy over there across from them, and then over here I did the Kentucky Yellow. But I had some left over and I didn't want to waste them, so I said I'll just put the rest, which is a mix, all here, and they've grown very well over here. In between them I am growing some sunflowers, so you can see how those are doing. Yeah, I'm excited, very, very excited, very hopeful with all of this. So the other bed that I planted over here, this is actually my grandmother's cut flower garden bed mix. That's from Botanical Interests. So things are sprouting. Unfortunately, I don't know which parts are weeds and which parts are flowers. And I'll just have to give it some time to figure it out. But anyway, what I'm out here to do today is something I was supposed to do several days ago and never got to it. And that is, I need to plant my corn, my second sowing of corn, and I need to plant my cucumbers. So I don't know if it's gonna rain. I mean, it's beautiful weather, but I can't tell if these gray clouds are rain that's coming or not, but I wanna beat it if that is the case, and I need to do this before my daughter wakes up. So here we go. I spy a pumpkin plant and some more over there. There's another one over there and over here too. So definitely thankful for how that's been going. You can see some corn over there also. Where I'm gonna be sowing corn next is right in here. So 2 weeks ago, let me see. I just did a Bodacious corn was the name of it, and it was with dollarseed.com. This brand is also sweet corn. It's with Johnny Seeds, so I'm gonna have a different variety and a different company. I'm excited to test it out. So here we go. Before I start sowing, I'm breaking up a little bit. There are some clumps in there, removing some of these sticks on the end. Okay, I have one row in, and I'm just following the instructions on the packet, and it said to sow 2 seeds 9 inches apart, so that's about what I did. And I'm using the sticks to help me remember where I sowed since I covered them up. So I put the seeds about 3/4 to an inch deep, and then I sowed them about 9 inches apart. I put 2 per thing, and then 2 per hole, and I will thin them out to 1 plant every 9 inches once they start germinating, or once they're a little bit bigger. But it does also say to have about 3 feet in between rows, so that's why I used my handy sticks I have here so that I would be able to tell about where 30 inches to 36 inches would be. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just finish up the second round, the second row, and that might be, I might be able to get I think I can get a third in there, so I'm gonna try to do that. We'll see how much space I have, but I might only be able to do 2 rows of this and then 1 row or 2 rows of the other corn that I've already planted. So we'll see. All right, we are on to the fun part of today. Kids, what are we doing?
Planting.
We are planting. This is the kid garden. And who has control of this garden?
Us.
Yep, you get to do it all, including the weeding out before we plant.
Oh, yeah,
So I promised the kids they would have 1 bed. They get to help with other parts of the garden, of course, but this is the one where it's all them. They get to do it. They get to do what they want with a little bit of guidance, but we're just wanting to use this as a chance for them to learn. So, Gideon, do you remember, what is it that you want to plant? Or are you still figuring it out?
I kind of don't want to plant anything.
Gideon, you're planting Brussels sprouts.
You don't want to plant any. Oh wait, no! Didn't you say you wanted to plant flowers?
Yeah,
And we talked about
between Brussels sprouts and if I don't want to plant anything.
Okay, so you're deciding between Brussels sprouts or nothing at all. Okay, that's fine, because you had wanted to do watermelon, but we have to do it in a different bed because this isn't big enough.
And then grapes, but then...
And the grapes are going on the arch
Mom,
trellis.
this bed is good
I
enough.
just have my own tiny arch trellis.
Maybe next year.
Mom, this could be my garden because I'm gonna plant watermelon.
You want the 4x16 bed? Well, this one's already taken. This is the one that you get to have, but you can help me with the watermelon in the other bed. How's that sound?
You take out those. Okay.
Good. Okay, Hosanna, what do you want to plant?
Strawberries and watermelon.
Weedorina.
Sprouts, cauliflower, broccoli, and...
Hey, I said I could get in there. There's another seed right there.
That's awesome. You have quite the list there. I like it. Noelle, baby, what do you want to plant?
I want to plant flowers in mine.
You want to plant flowers? I love it. Well, we can plant flowers because I have a whole seed mix that is for beneficial insects specifically, which I think is a great thing to bring to the garden. What do you think?
It's good because I really want to, and I'm planting. This first row is mine, and I planted flowers already.
You did. Let me zoom in.
Ooh.
Do you remember what kind of plants they are?
No, but if we go to Heritage, I will.
Yeah, if we go to our homeschool group. I'm pretty sure that were these a type of sunflower?
I think they were.
Me too.
Well, we'll see.
Well, at least Hosanna's was.
All right, my friends, let us get to planting. So we're gonna prepare.
I think there's
the bed.
a caterpillar.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, that's cool. So
That's the caterpillar.
we wanna
There.
make it, and we're just gonna scatter the seeds down a little bit, but I'm gonna move this over here.
Can't see it.
It'll feel better when this is a little bit wet, but
So we're scooting over here.
just to give it a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna sprinkle the seeds, and then you're just gonna cover them a little bit like this, okay?
I'm
That's all.
gonna plant seeds.
You are gonna
Look
plant.
at that.
You are gonna plant Brussels sprouts, so I'll have you
Look
hold
at
the Brussels
that
sprouts.
big thing moving.
Wait, Hosanna chose Brussels sprouts for a plant?
She did, and
Look,
we're gonna do them on
Mom,
that
look,
side.
Mama, that was big and it was moving fast.
Oh, sorry, I was supposed to shake this first. Because this is a mix, you wanna shake it up. We're gonna do this one. I'm gonna shake it up first. All right.
I'm gonna pull some. I'm gonna get some out of here.
Okay, so what you wanna do is take you see a sunflower seed? That's so cool, you can recognize it.
And I see,
Um,
Mom, I don't want the seeds to
Okay, here, I'm with you. I'm with you. Good job. Good job. You're being very careful. All right, I want to show it to the camera. Go right here. Put it right in front. There are the seeds. Okay, so we have our Made in the Shade mix. Now, go ahead, and what you want to do is just sprinkle them.
This one. Mama, I got less about.
Sprinkle, yep, and then you want to sprinkle some. Good. Now, Hosanna, can I see the package? Oh, you took some out. Okay, that's fine. We are gonna plant the Brussels sprouts on the opposite side, and then we'll leave the middle for Gideon. Noelle, you're doing a great job.
Good job. May.
All right, how's that feel?
Good. Down it. So are we gonna turn the water on?
We will, after we finish. All right, Hosanna. Now we're gonna do what you have. Can I see your seeds?
The brisk.
And what seeds are these?
Brussels sprouts.
All right. All right, we're gonna put them in here. Let's prepare. That'll be towards fall. So I'm gonna put them there.
Okay.
Can I do corn?
You can plant corn in here.
Me too. I
You're doing corn?
corn.
Yeah. At first I got peppers, but there weren't any peppers left.
Where can I put this
Oh, I
little
wanted to-
seed?
It's day 2, and I am out watering the area, the one part of our garden that is not connected to our drip line because we're missing 2 parts. I started filming this video yesterday, and so I got, kids and I got the plant and all that stuff, but Brandon's been out of town pretty much all week, and by the time this video is uploaded, he'll be home, but he's been out of town, and their kids have to do things like, eat and stuff, so it got a little hectic yesterday. And I was like, you're gonna have to finish this video later. But I had to make sure I got out here today and watered this area because we have our drip line set up. You can see the lines here. And Brandon, everything is ready to go. We were just missing 2 parts. And so because of that, it's not connected to our main zone, which is behind me. You can see it. Oop, there we go. There it is. So anyway, hopefully, since he's coming back tonight, hopefully that'll all get taken care of tomorrow or the next day. And then we'll be able to have it all set up and I won't have to hand water. But I was like, after all that work I put into these beds, I said, no, I will not have these flowers die or not germinate because of me not watering. But anywho, it is a good day. It is a really great day to be outside. Spring, there's so much hopefulness right now. I am feeling that. I am so thankful. I'm thankful for everything that's going on in the garden, even though there are a few things that I don't quite understand. Like my basil's kind of yellowing, and I don't know if it's because there's too many together and I need to separate them or if it's something else. So if you have a tip on that, please let me know. Basil, why would the leaves be yellowing? Yeah, not sure. I did transplant them, so I don't know. Might have messed something up in the process of that. That's an area I can tell that my tomato plants I think are not gonna make it because I also messed up I think in the transplanting because I just looked at them and I was like, they look kind of sad, but it's okay. Still hopeful. I was just thinking, I was so struck by the way that, in spring, there's so much hopefulness. I mean, I'm looking around and there's just the flowers and things are budding and it's like, even the weeds, I'm like, I don't necessarily want a bunch of weeds, but there's so much, oh, child calling me. Okay, child is fine. All right, anyway, okay, I gotta water these blueberry bushes and I gotta reset up this system so that it goes back on auto. I had to turn it off so I could water these, but just looking at spring, all the life, even weeds that are popping up that I'm pulling out, but still there's so much life happening. And last week we found out right before we left to go to a wedding for one of our very close friends, we found out that one of our church family members had actually died. And it was sudden for us, none of us had anticipated it. And so I found out that news, and then the next day left to go to the wedding. And I was in the wedding too, and we're celebrating our friend and the joyfulness of just the union of them coming together. And it was just, there's just so much good. And then coming back, and he got back on, I don't know, it was late Saturday night, going to church that Sunday. We had to tell our kids, because they obviously knew this friend, they were used to seeing this friend, and it was the first time that there was someone in their life that they saw consistently that passed away. So yeah, I just, want to navigate that. And it's so interesting. I had a boss who told me when I was when I used to work back in Oregon, I worked for a nonprofit that served people experiencing homelessness. And one of the things that the executive director would say, he is just like, change is the only constant. And I was like, that's just so true. Change is always there. And even just that like juxtaposition in life where I'm like, we celebrate the newness of life. I look around Philo and you see so many, so much greenery because the leaves are back on the trees and there's so much life. And then at the same time, there is still death and there is still mourning. And so it's just that holding that in life and that reality of death. I'm thankful because my friend loved the Lord and believed in the Lord as his savior. And so I also am holding that, like, there's the mourning and the grief, but then there's the like reality that I'm like, it's not a cliche when we say he's in a better place, because I'm like, no, but really there is no greater one that he is with. It's not even so much the place, but rather the one whom he is with, that he gets to be with our maker, he gets to be with God, and the fullness, and like knowing what fullness truly is. Like I'm so thankful for that reality, and that does bring a lot of hope. But while we wrestle with the tension of like, and you're gone, but for those who believe in Jesus, like it's a not you're gone forever, just for right now in this time. And so anyway, that's a whole thing. But it just, when I'm in the garden, there's so much tending to things, and I think about, like, I had to prioritize getting outside to water these seeds so that they grow. I, again, don't have control over all of it, but that's one thing I do control. If I don't water, they won't grow. I need to do that. Like, that I know. It definitely will happen. I have a role to play, even though I don't control all of it. And just this, like, intense focus on planting and pruning and life and waiting and hopeful expectation, or hopeful anticipation. I don't know, holding that reality of a friend and the death and the feeling of permanence in that, because it is permanent in some ways, but at the same time, of course, he is in heaven. He's not gone forever. He's alive in a different way, in the truest way, I guess I could say. This is going way over there, but this is where my head's at. Maybe it's because I haven't slept the last few days. Brandon, come home. Just kidding. He will be home in a few hours. He will be home. Oh, so maybe it's my mind being kind of loopy, but I just don't want to ignore that as I'm like focusing on and being with the Lord here and in the garden and growing things. And yeah, I don't know. There's just, life is a funny, funny thing. But it's really, really beautiful to get to be a part of creating. I think that maybe is what even thinking about the death and processing through it is like helping me think about, is that gift of creating and offering something beautiful into the world, because I do believe beauty points to hope, and hope is something we all need. We all need it. We need it right now. And we can have it. And to think that we can be co-creators in providing beauty and whatever that might look like, whether it's in the garden or in the art that you make or the words that you write, the food that you cook or bake, There's a way. We are all makers in different ways and reflect the maker in that. And I don't know. I think that maybe that, like, when I hear of anyone dying and just the tragedy of that, I think to what does it look like to use what I have. Speaking of our maker, sorry, I'm distracted because there's this bird that just popped out of the fence behind me. Anyway, I guess, I don't know, my encouragement, when I think of my friend who is now no longer with us on this side of eternity, I think about what it just reminds you of our day. We don't know how many days we have. And so I think of the things that you can be doing. One I am very grateful for is being present in the garden and stewarding this land and offering it to others. I talk so much about hospitality because to me that is the point. Why I do interior design, or I like it, is because I love centering around home and the creativity and the art of it. But it's like, to me, it's about using your home for yourself and connecting with God and yourself, and then those you live with, if you live with anyone, but also sharing it with others. That's, to me, the point, and that's why we bought this property. We're like, great for us, but it would kind of suck if we only kept it for ourselves. It's meant to be shared. And so doing this garden, in some ways, it's like it's an encouragement. Like, is this what you want to be doing with your days? Because you don't know how many you have. And I'm like, yes, because I know I'm doing it to create beauty, to offer food for other people. And I'm sure for many of you, that's what you're doing too. But then this property, even just with what we're doing here, we're wanting to use it to give of ourselves to others. And I guess that's just not something that we can go look past. It takes an act of resistance towards ourselves to make something for others and to give of what we have to others. And there are some people who, I mean, there are lots of people actually who are way better at that than me. I'm a work in progress, but it's just, I don't know. It's just so important that we are a people that are hospitable and that are generously giving of ourselves, and that we are people who pay attention, that we see what is right in front of us and don't just try to look past for the next thing. And I'm definitely guilty of that, and my social media habits don't help. Scrolling doesn't help you to practice taking something in. Anyway, those are just my random thoughts as I'm really wanted to get out here today. I wanted to do this, but then also as I think about, oh, you know what it was? Part of it is also, I was thinking about, and I was just thinking about how I was supposed to have this weekend, other than my son's baseball game, it was supposed to be pretty open. And then we were going to be able to plant this or plant that or do this. And I was kind of like planning my time to like not have to be busy. But then my friend dies. And now the service for him is on Saturday, the day that I was supposed to have open. And it's like my life shifted. So every time I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, no, you're not, because something happened and it was out of your control and you don't. And I'm not resentful of that. I'd much rather go and honor his life and celebrate his life. But it's just, so I'm not complaining on that, but it's just, I guess, being pushed into that reality of like, yeah, you don't have that time to go do X because you're going to be doing Y, because the reality of life is that you don't just, I don't know, you got to be very intentional with your time, I guess, is what I was thinking. It just reminded me that I need to be very intentional. And so then as I was so eager to get outside and I needed to water and do this and that, I was like, why are you doing that again? Why is it so important to you to be so intentional? And I was like, because I'm wanting to create with my creator. And I want to make beautiful things because I want to share them. Cut flowers, dried flowers. I want people to come and be able to look at them and just their eyes be overwhelmed with beauty. I want bees and butterflies and other pollinators to come and to participate in this too, because it's for them also. I am hungry for that and to offer it. It's my offering. And I don't know, that's all of that together just came to mind. And now I'm sharing it on here. So bless you, dear viewer who is still watching this. Let me sum it up. I gotta go make food for my kids. But this has been Garden Chat Time with Alexa. But I hope that that's an encouragement though. Backing up, I think it's coming to mind because I do want to push us all towards hospitality. I want to push us all towards creating whatever that looks like in your life, however the Lord's inviting you to create, because I don't want us to forget that beauty points to hope, and hope is something that does not disappoint. Hope is good. Hope is Jesus. And that's what I want. I want to be that. I want to create that and offer it and even hear in what I'm saying. I hope my words can provide hopefulness and encouragement to you so that you then go and you live in that and you offer it to someone else. And if we can just be people who are doing that, I think that would really serve so many of us well and so many others well. So anyway, I need to go. Bless y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garden today. Thanks for celebrating the gift of life. And I hope that you go and you are intentional with your day today, whatever that looks like. And I just pray that you know that you matter, because you do. Bless you.